Hey, I'm Nicole and this is a recap for 90 Day Fiance, The Tell-All. So, if you want to see a recap of this crazy show and see how everything ends, please watch the rest of this video. Hello, my snickel. Hello, my little snickel face. What are you doing, snickel face? What are you doing? Guys, so we watched The Tell-All on Monday night. It was 2 hours long, so we had 3 hours straight of 90 Day Fiance. We had 1 hour to finish out the show everybody's weddings that was left from Sunday night. And then we had 2 hours straight of The Tell-All. So there was so much that went on. I have my notes here, so if you see me glance down, it's because I'm checking my notes because I don't want to miss anything. There was so much that went on, guys. I want to make sure I cover all my bases. But if I miss anything or there's something that you feel I left out, please leave a comment for me and we can discuss it either on Twitter, in the Facebook group, or down below in the comments. Okay. So I'm going to fly through the boring couples that really didn't have anything going on this episode. You know who they are. That's Josh and Aika, Libby and Andre, and Evelyn and David. So I'm going to fly through those three, and then we're going to get to the good ones, which were Nicole and Azan, David and Annie, and Molly and Luis. Okay, so Josh and Aika. So let's start with them and get them out of the way. First of all, let's go to wardrobe. What was Aika wearing? I saw on Twitter everybody was talking about Aika's shoes. I mean, they were probably 12-inch high platform, patent leather, shiny, cheap boots that came all the way up to her knee. I mean, she is really trying to dress for her future career as a hooker or porn star. I mean, I'm sure Josh will talk her into it. He'd probably say, hey, it's just art, it's just acting. Go ahead and be a porn star. I mean, he probably would have absolutely no problem with her doing porn. Obviously, with her wearing those shoes. She looked just trashy, as usual. Josh had on the same jeans he wore at the wedding, and still no top teeth. So, hey, he was Josh. So they really didn't have anything to talk about in the tell-all. I don't remember them really being focused on at all at any point, except when they did the whole kids question. So of course, you know, Aika still wants to have a baby, which I have no idea why she wouldn't have a baby with Josh, but she wants to have one. She says they're trying. I don't know how they're trying when he has this invisible, non-existent sperm. He still has not reversed his vasectomy. Big shock. They can't afford that. And I don't know how she expects to have a baby. And people were like, oh, adoption's always an option, blah, 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 blah. No, who's going to pay for an adoption? No, they're not going to have kids. She's going to get tired of him after a year. They didn't have anything to talk about in this tell-all. They were really boring. And I guess Aika wore those boots to give us something to talk about because they really didn't have anything. They had no storyline at all. I mean, it was just raggedy and ratchet, and I'm over them. And she's, you know, whatever. Hey, whatever. They're not going to have kids. Josh tried to make up this like baby mashup name called Jaika. First of all, no, stop it. You don't get to mash up your names to make a new name. You're not celebrities, and you're not like reality stars that we hold near and dear in our hearts that we're like, oh, they're so cute, let's form their names together. Nobody likes you, Yuckmouth or Aika. Jaika, no, stop it. You're not gonna have kids, so let's stop with the cute mashup name. That's it. I'm done talking about them. They are married now, and they can go on with their trashy porn star and no top teeth lives, whatever. So moving on, next is Elizabeth and Andre. They were also boring, but I will say this, that Andre, shocked as I was, he gets hero of the night for me for standing up for Molly. So basically Sean kind of goes around asking who thought Molly and Luis were going to stay together, and Andre didn't raise his hand, and Molly's like, Andre, you didn't raise your hand. And he's like, well, I thought he is punk and he does not deserve you and all this and that. And I was like, okay, Andre. He said he could see through the TV that Luis was not the real deal. I said, all right then, sir, because we saw it too. So, hey, you know, he stood up for Molly. He said that Luis doesn't deserve her and that she pretty much needs to move on with her life. And I was with him. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm agreeing with something Andre said. I couldn't believe it. I was a little shook by that. But, you know, I started to like him like 0.5%, like just a little bit. My heart was like, this dude might be all right. His wife, Elizabeth, dear Lord, she still does not know how to use a curling wand. I don't know what was going on with her hair. I didn't even see I don't even know what she had on. Andre looked nice in his suit. He looked like a hitman. He looked like he could have been a villain in a Jason Statham movie, but I mean, that's what he always looks like. But Libby, somebody take her curling wand. Just take it away. I don't know why she had curls on and only this part of her hair. Straight, curl straight. Once again, oh, it was awful. She looked stupid. She just needs to wear her hair straight. She needs to either just wear her hair straight or like have a little bump under the end or a loose wave. I've said this before. Stop with the curling wand. Somebody please take it from her. What was their issues? So they didn't have anything to talk about. We're still talking about her family not liking him. They Skyped in her sisters. One of them's name is Becky. I think the one with the overbites name is Becky. And then there's the Silent Bob. So Becky and Silent Bob. Because the other sister never talks. I think she said probably 2 words this whole time she's been on the show. She's always just standing next to Jen or Becky, which there was no Jen, surprising. But she's either standing next to Jen or Becky in their interviews and not saying anything. So Becky and Silent Bob were Skyped in. And, you know, they were trying to backpedal and talk about how they weren't antagonizing Andre all season, which they were. But in their defense, Elizabeth stirred the pot. So blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Andre said it is finished like he was Jesus on the cross and turned them off. And I mean, when he said it is done, I thought he meant their lives. I was like, oh, y'all better be getting yourselves in order so y'all can go into the witness protection program because Andre's about to murder you. But anyway, that was their only drama they had. I don't think there was anything else. One little thing that Andre said was that Elizabeth didn't change for him. And she did change for you. I mean, according to her family, she has always been headstrong. She has been mouthy. She speaks up for herself. She speaks her mind. And now all of a sudden she's bending to your every will, which is out of character for her. So I do think that she changed for him. I think that that's hard for him to admit, to be like, yeah, this woman changed for me. That would be a little weird for you to say. So I can see why Andre didn't want to fess up to the fact that Libby has changed for him. He called it her being mature. I don't think Libby is mature, so let's kill that. I think she's immature for her age, but she did change for him, and she's happy with the change that she made, and they seem happy together. They're both, you know, she likes his old-fashioned ways, and he likes whatever he likes about her. I don't know what, but best of luck to you in your future endeavors. Ooh, okay, moving on. Last boring couple, David and Evelyn. So basically nothing happened with them either. They didn't have any storyline. We asked them about the wedding night. David's still uncomfortable talking about sex. Elizabeth had on a dress that she got from the middle-aged woman department in Macy's. I don't know why this girl insists upon dressing 30 years older than she is. You are 18, Evelyn. This is like prime fashion time. This is the time where you can wear the cutest clothes. And she insists on wearing just the most age. She ages herself so awfully. She has this horrible mullet. It's just aging her. She did have on like some bright red lipstick, so apparently she borrowed some lipstick from Elizabeth backstage. I actually didn't mind the lipstick. I thought it fit her skin tone. She's very pale. You know, don't get a lot of sun in Claremont. She's very pale, but the red looked good on her. So, you know, hey, I was fine with that. I thought she looked cute for Evelyn. But the dress, oh God, oh, it was awful. Burn it. And so there was one thing though with them, and then I'll move on. I promise. I'm getting to the good stuff. When David was talking about, you know, he didn't want to talk about sex with other people, and he was like, well, at breakfast when we have coffee with our parents, they start talking about their sex life. Was he saying that this is what happens? Like when they go have breakfast together, the parents start talking about their sex life in front of them? Or was he saying, I don't want to talk about my in-laws' sex life? Was he saying it in a hypothetical sense? I tried to rewind it and listen to it again, and it wasn't clear. So if they are sitting around the breakfast table having coffee and talking about their sex, Jacqueline and her fine husband, that's weird. I mean, her husband is fine, but I don't want to hear my parents, my parents-in-law or my wife's parents talk about them having sex. So I'm with David on that, if that is the case. If he was talking about a hypothetical sense, I'm also with him. But at the same time, it's like girls are going to talk like David. You cannot expect your wife to not talk about sex with anybody. If she has girlfriends, they're going to talk about sex. That's what we do. Like, guys, I don't know what y'all think we talk about, but we're going to we might not get down and dirty in perfect detail, but we're going to talk about it. And we're going to say this happened and that happened and I like this, I didn't like that. We're going to talk about it. So David needs to get over that. Evelyn is going to be talking to her friends about what happened on their wedding night and what's happening in their non-existent sexless marriage. They Skyped in Michaela. Michaela looked a hot mess, even though I was with Michaela. You know, when she was trying to get them to think about it, I thought she should have kind of kept her opinion to herself, even though she did have a valid opinion. They Skyped her in. She was not camera ready. She looked a hot mess. She joked about people saying that she's secretly in love with Evelyn. That could be a possibility. I really don't know. Evelyn's just surrounded by gay people. Her husband gay, her best friend gay, and in love with her. I mean, why not? Hey, anything's possible. Sky's the limit at this point. Who cares? Okay. Woo, got through the 3 boring ones. I don't think I missed anything. So let's get to the nitty gritty. We're going to start with Nicole and no Azan, because Azan was MIA this week. So we start off the finale with Sean kind of asking Nicole how she feels about Azan not being there, and he didn't even Skype in. Apparently Azan's been missing for 3 days. She has not heard from him. She texted him 50 times that day, which probably in Nicole stage 5 clinger means 100 times. And Azan has no response. He's not answering the phone. Somebody gives her a phone or something so that she can call internationally. They're like, can you get him on the phone? They keep asking her where he is, like she knows. She don't know where Azan is. Azan in hiding. He probably just needed a break. Nicole's getting on his nerves. She probably had just sent him some money, so he was good for the month and just needed to take a break from her. Honestly. And can you blame him? I mean, all she wants to do is talk about nothing. She has nothing to talk about, but she always wants to talk. So he's probably just needed a break and was like, bye. I already told y'all he's not coming to America. He's not coming over here. So what do they need to talk about? They're going to talk about this visa that he's going to sabotage. They need to talk about this interview that he's not going to show up to. So he probably was like, you know what? I'm just not going to answer her calls for about 2-3 weeks. I just need a break. And then when he needs some more money, he'll start picking up that phone again. Don't worry, they'll be talking again. Azan's not gone completely, but he is gone for this tell-all. So then they show the clip, you know, her mom comes out, which her mom's name, okay, let's talk about her mom's name. I'm from the South, so I thought that her mom's name was Robbie Lee. In the South, we throw Lee on the end of anything. So I was like, maybe her name's Robbie Lee, but Sean kept saying Robalee, Robalee. I don't know. I thought it was Robbie Lee and Sean was just a Yankee and wasn't pronouncing it right. So I don't know. But I'm going to call her Robbie Lee because I can't say Robbie Lee. That sounds like a way somebody robbed somebody's house. Like he snuck out of the house robbily. Like I don't know. It just doesn't sound like somebody's name, and I'm not going to say it. So I will from now on be saying Robbie Lee because that's what I think her name is. So Robbie Lee comes and sits down on the couch and starts to pour the tea, honey. Robbie Lee was telling all Nicole business and I was here for it. So she starts saying how Nicole, apparently whoever she was dating before Azan, she had May calling him daddy too, which, what is the deal with, May is like what, 2.5, 3? How has she already called 2 different men daddy? And where is her actual daddy? Where is May's daddy? I know Nicole said her and May's daddy aren't on good terms, but I mean, Lord. So she's trying to make anybody May's daddy. She also said that she checks the bank account statements and sees all these Western Union transactions. So clearly Nicole is sending all her Wendy's drive-thru money over there to Azan. We see that, and she said when she runs out of money, she calls mom and says mama needs some money, which if her mom really wanted this to stop, I wouldn't give her any money. Like, if my daughter is sending money over to some dude that don't even like her, when you run out and I wouldn't give you anything. I'd be like, well, I guess you and a lot of people are like, oh, the child. No, I'm sorry. I wouldn't give her any money. Well, after a little while without lights and water, I bet you she'll stop sending that money over there to Azan. I bet you she will. She gonna get some boss sense today. I'm not giving you a dime. So her mom is enabling her a little bit by helping her out when she knows she's sending money over there to Azan. You know where it's going, so why are you giving her money when she runs out? I let her run out. I let her sit there in the dark, light a candle. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not giving you any money, but you know, Robbie Lee does for her daughter what she can. I guess she feels sorry for May, so she gives her some money when she runs out of sending it to Azan. You could tell Nicole was not feeling her mama telling all this stuff, because every time her mama started saying something, Nicole was like, "Man," she turned into Cartman from... You shaking the whole house. My goodness. Like I was saying. So every time Robbie Lee started telling all Nicole's business, Nicole turned into Cartman from South Park. Nan. So I was like, girl, go on, come on, Robbie Lee, tell us some more. Don't listen to her. I was like, Nicole, shut up, because you've been doing it. So, hey, we already saw, Azan already told us you sent $800 here, $500 there, $300 there. So we already had we already knew you were sending money over. But mommy was just confirming what he was saying, that it was true, that, you know, she is sending money, and not just sending money, sending all her money. And she's out of money at the end of the month and needs to ask mommy and daddy to help her, which is pitiful. Like I said before, Azan is not coming to America. He's never going to come here. It's not going to happen. Somebody check the status of the visa. I don't know if he had his interview or not. Somebody check me and comment. I bet you something happened with it. I don't know. But something is not right there. Azan's not coming. She needs to move on. My advice to Nicole. Nicole, sweetie, baby, sugar, honey pie. From one Nicole to another, listen to me. Okay, we have a connection. We have the same name. So maybe you'll listen to me, because I know you're hard-headed. He's not coming. He doesn't want you. Move on with your life. Okay? Bye. Just move on. Get on Tinder. Start over. Get a new profile. Make sure when you take your pictures, angle from the top so the chin doesn't show. Okay? Get on Tinder. Start something new. Start swiping right. Okay? Just start afresh. We sweep this whole Azan thing under the rug. Clean slate. Let him go. Move on. That's all I know. The last part about Nicole's little clip or whatever, I'm going by couple, not by how the tell-all was, because it kind of bounced around. So it's easier for me to go by couple. So the last thing they did was showed a clip recap of the highlights of Nicole's trip, which was abusing the heck out of Azan. Yeah, they showed all that over again, and Nicole was just covering up her little face and acting like she was all upset. Her mom over there crying. They just distraught, honey. And I was like, so nobody mentioned anything about the abuse. I said, oh, okay, well, hey, if y'all not gonna talk about it, I guess we're not gonna talk about it. I mean, and then Nicole's mom was like, oh, Nicole is headstrong and wants to be loved. That's not being headstrong. That's an abuser, and she has anger issues. That's all it boils down to. She doesn't know how to control herself when her emotions get high, and she takes it out by physically abusing people. And her boyfriend was #1 suspect there. That's what it boils down to. If this was reversed and that was a guy and Nicole was a man and Azan was a girl, she would be in prison. She would be in jail right now. So stop trying to call it something sweet. Oh, she's headstrong and she wants love. No, she's abusive and she needs to get her anger under control. That's what it boils down to. But you know, it don't matter, because Azan ain't coming here anyway. He said he got abused one too many times. And like I said, he's not about to come stay in the closet with her in May. So I think I'm done with her. Moving on. So next is David and Annie. Ooh, we just climbing up this hill of ridiculousness. So David and Annie. Let's just start with the wardrobe. Annie looked like Annie. And clearly Nikki didn't do her makeup today, because her face was not beat to the guys like it was at that wedding. David's body is just disgusting to me. I swear, did y'all see his stomach? I felt like every time the camera went back to it, his stomach had grown. It was like it just kept expanding. He had on this like black, I don't know what shirt, red pants, these old dirty New Balance dad tennis shoes. I'm like, that's what you decided to wear? He had a suit, a whole suit to wear to a random meeting at the park, but he comes to the tell-all and wears a shirt, pants, and dirty tennis shoes. He just looked raggedy and basic. He might have stole that suit from somebody and had to return it or something. I don't know. Probably bought it from a store and couldn't afford it and had to take it back. That's why he didn't have it anymore. Anyway, so they had a on the couch by themselves moment with Chris and Nikki. So it was like Chris and Nikki were on one side, David and Annie were on the other side. And, you know, basically I'm just going to sum this whole sequence up in a nutshell. Nikki was not here for it. Nikki is done playing nice. She said, no more Mrs. Nice Girl. And she was just saying what she felt, and she was coming for David's neck the whole segment. So basically, Nikki and Chris apparently talked, and Nikki put her foot down at the house and said, no more, you're not giving them any more money. They said they haven't added it up because it'll tear their marriage apart, which I can see why add up a number you're not going to get back. David's not going to pay them back. He already owes Annie's family, he said, $13,500 left, and they will never see that money. He said there's no time limit on it, so we know what that means. They ain't getting paid back. He probably owes Chris and Nikki $113,000, and they're not getting that back. So, but Nikki twisted Chris's arm, and Chris said, no more money, brother. So I think that Chris is probably going to still be sliding David money on the side, but he tried to help him and make it legit by offering David a job. He said he offered him 50-50 in a restaurant business, and David didn't take it because they're going to go to China or something. I don't know. They're idiots. He was trying to make it seem like, oh, that happened just 2 days ago. Like, you couldn't say yes 2 days ago. If somebody offers you a job and you have no job, wouldn't you take it? No, that's because David doesn't want to get a job, because he enjoys taking money from Chris and Nikki for free, and he has no problem with it either. She's a moocher just like David is. Both of them some moochers. I'm over them. What else? So Antonio was Skyped in and basically called Annie on her BS, saying that she had said that if David can't provide for her, she's going to be gone, so she's not here for love. And Sean was like, Annie, and Annie was like, it's not true, but I don't believe that. I think it was true. The other big thing that happened was Chris said that there's some clause in the legal agreement to sponsor Annie that says that at any time he can offer her $10,000 for her to go home. So if it doesn't work out with her and David, he can give her 10 G's and she's out. She can go back. She's broken. You know, they basically pay out of their responsibility to her. And so Chris was like, well, I offer to you right now $10,000 to go back to Thailand, or you stay with David. And Annie took the longest pause I ever seen in my life. Like, she looked at David and looked at Chris and looked at David and looked at Chris and then looked at Nikki and then looked at Chris and looked at, I was like, girl, why you looking around? He asked you a question. We're waiting on the answer. So after about 2.5 years, she finally says, no, I stay with David. I love him. And I was like, girl, anyway, I have a feeling that the only reason why Annie didn't take that 10 G's is because she feels that the citizenship is worth more than $10,000. That's the only thing I can figure. She was like, you know, citizenship priceless, because she didn't take it. She said she wanted to stay with David. So I'm thinking her plan to push David down those firehouse steps and murder him and get her green card and go find another rich white man is probably still in play. So, you know, hey. So then I think Sean kind of asked Annie about the happy ending thing and what she thought about that, and she kind of made a joke and was like, oh, happy ending, hey. And Nikki was not here for it. Nikki was my hero number 2 for the night, simply because I feel like all season, I don't know if it was editing or if it was just her personality of trying to be respectful and nice, but she just really, I feel like she wasn't really saying her feelings, and tonight she said them all. Or at the tell-all, she said them all. She did not hold back. They asked if they thought David was going to be faithful. They were asking about the whole cheating thing. And Chris said he thinks that David's going to be faithful. Nikki said over here he's going to be faithful because don't nobody want him. If they go to China, the women over there like foreign men, and he's going to cheat. So I said, girl, when she said that, I closed my laptop. I said, I'm done. I said, this girl does not care anymore. She's not trying to be nice and friendly. Her brother came and roasted and tore Annie up. And then he got mad when Annie kept lying and said, bye, cut me off. I'm done. So, and Nikki was hero number 2 for me. I was here for her bluntness. I was here for her speaking her mind. I wish she had been doing it longer. I wish they had edited it in. I don't know if it was editing or if it was just her not saying things, but I wish she had been doing it all season because it was hilarious. So good for you, Nikki, for standing up for yourself and speaking your mind and not holding back, girl. I am here for it. Let's move on to the next couple because I think I'm done with David and Annie. So last and certainly not least is Molly and Luis. Well, Molly to start with. So we opened the show with Molly there by herself, and I'm like, oh, what Luis said, he probably in Miami with Muhammad, because you know my theory is that he did not leave, he did not go back to the DR. I know he didn't for a fact. I know for sure he did not. So, you know, then Molly has her own segment on the couch by herself. So she and Olivia come out and they kind of talk to her and Olivia. Olivia's talking about you don't know me and how the people have talked about her for being disrespectful to her mom, blah, 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 who cares, whatever. So Then Sean hits us with the, oh my God, I was not expecting this. And usually I'm one of those people who can sniff out drama when it's coming. I usually can kind of tell. I usually kind of feel it. I'm like, oh, something about to happen. I did not expect this at all. I really honestly thought Luis was not coming. I thought he wasn't there. So Sean's like, well, Luis is here. Come on out, Luis. And I was like, huh? Like everything stopped. Like I froze. It was like it took a few seconds for it to register in my brain that Luis was actually there. Like when she said it, I was like, are they about to Skype him in? But no, he walked out onto the set and I was like, oh my God, he's actually here. Like I was legit shocked. They got me. And they got Molly too, because Molly looked surprised. And I was like, ooh, TLC got her back for that switcheroo she pulled on them with the marriage license. So I was like, oh my gosh, he's here. And so he walks out on the set and he stands in the middle. And there's an empty couch on his right. And there's Molly and Olivia on his left. And he looks at them and he starts walking over to the empty couch. And they're like, oh, Molly's like, oh, come sit, come sit. And Sean's like, well, you don't want to sit? Well, he said, no, it's okay. It's okay. I stay here. I said, ooh. And Luis' face is just cold. Molly was heartbroken. Oh, it was so sad. Molly was so heartbroken. You could tell she really wanted Luis to sit by her. And Olivia scooted down and gave him room. He said, no, I'm good. I said, oh, no, he didn't. And baby, Luis was cold. And, you know, when he came out and sat down, I mean, I was quiet. I was leaning in. Even my dog wasn't making a sound. I was waiting to hear what this fool was going to say. Then he just sat there and acted crazy the whole interview. He wasn't really answering questions. He was mumbling stuff under his breath. It was annoying. I wanted to reach to the TV and punch him in his face. He was being a smug little bastard. He was being irritating. He wasn't being forthcoming. He was acting like, oh, well, I don't know what's been said since I wasn't here. And Molly's like, we're just answering questions about our life. Like, he was acting like he didn't want to be there. I'm like, if you're going to be difficult, go backstage. Bye. Get off the couch. If you're not going to pour the tea, go away. So it was just weird. It was awkward. I felt bad for Molly. They were trying to ask Molly about, you know, why did she think Luis flipped out? And she was like, it was the chemicals in the food and lack of the beach. Girl, it was not no chemicals in the food. It was because he thought he was going to get vacation Molly when he came here and he got home mom Molly. And he didn't like that. And so he flipped the switch because he's a little bit cuckoo, I think. It was just a hot mess. And I felt really bad for Molly. She just looked super desperate. She just looked so desperate. And then at the end, when everybody came back and they were sitting on the couch together, she had her hand on his hand and was like stroking. Honey, he didn't look like he could care less to be there. He didn't look like he wanted to touch her. He was not holding her hand back. It was just pitiful. And she's talking about, well, I asked him to come back. Oh my God, I could have punched her in the face. What do you mean you asked him to come back? See, that's what I can't stand. They do all that fussing, cussing, and fighting and get your crap and get out. Just to ask him to come back. We gonna work on it. No, y'all don't have that much history. Start over. Bye. Annulment, here I come. I would not be putting up with that. It's not like they've been known each other for years and been together for years and now the marriage isn't working out. This was a fly-by-night. You met him on vacation. Girl, no, he's not right for you. She's trying to make it seem like he's helping with the kids, talking about he's packing Kinsley's lunch. I bet he is packing Kinsley's lunch. Probably slowly giving her poison so she'll die. I mean, just ugh, it's just wrong. It's not a good fit. Luis still looks like he's miserable. He still looks unhappy and he looks sneaky like he's planning something. And I have a feeling he's gonna pull a Muhammad here real soon. Just like Danielle was driving around the city looking for Muhammad. She didn't know where he was. I can see Luis doing that. And him being down in Miami with some girls he's calling his friends. I don't think they're going to work it out. I don't think that Luis is going to act right. I don't think he's going to change. She says he's trying. I don't believe it. He did not. What I saw at the tell-all did not look like him trying to work it out with her. He looked like he was over it. He was over this show. He was over Molly. He was over Olivia. He was over all of them. And that's not what you want in your home. Like, that's not the kind of relationship that you want to have. Like, you feel like you're forcing somebody to do something. Molly, let that go, girl. That's about it for this. I mean, I think that there's going to be a happily ever after. I hope so, because I really want to see what's happening with these couples. I want to be proven right that Azan is not going to show. I want to see what happens with Molly and Luis. and David and Annie. Everybody else I really don't care about. I know Josh and Aika are not going to have kids. David and Annie said they wanted to have kids, but dear God, please no. Annie, you better be popping your birth control every single night. Just if David finds them, just tell him it's candy. Girl, you already see what Ashley looked like, so you see this man has strong genes. I know they say that Asian overpowers white, but I don't know, because Ashley looked just like David with a ponytail. This man has strong genes, and you will have an Asian penguin on your hands. Don't you have kids with that man. Everybody else, I don't care about. David and Evelyn, bye. I don't care. Elizabeth and Andre, bye. I don't care. Whatever. I just want to see what happens with Molly and Louise, Nicole and Azan, and David and Annie, and that's it. And like I said, I think that Chris is still going to be giving David money. He tried to do it on top of the table way by offering him a job, but seems like he's slow to talk because he doesn't want to work. So he'll still be sliding him money under the table. I'm sure it'll break him and Nikki up. But, I mean, Chris doesn't deserve Nikki's beautiful, gorgeous chocolateness anyway. So that probably be for the best. She has her 2 kids. She can get her child support and her alimony and be gone. Oh gosh, what are our takeaways? Number 1, Molly's desperate. Number 2, Josh and Aika are not going to have a baby. Bye. 3, David and Evelyn. Bye. 4, Elizabeth and Andre. Bye. 5, Nicole. From one Nicole to another. Remember I told you we have a connection, so you have to listen to me. Move on, sweetie. Azan doesn't want you. He's not coming. It's all about the money. Find somebody who likes you, your annoyingness. Find somebody who likes your annoyingness. I mean, there's somebody who will like it. Move on. Azan doesn't want you. Last, David and Annie. Chris is still going to be giving David money. Annie's probably plotting David's murder. I told you she's going to push him down the steps so that she can get the insurance money and move on to another rich white man. Hopefully she'll find a rich one this time that actually has money and isn't using money from his friend. And she'll be able to tell the difference early on before she gets herself into any trouble. So that's it for the tell-all. I hope I didn't miss anything, y'all. I tried to stick to my outline. I really tried to stay close to my notes because there was so much that went on. I'm really going to miss this crazy show. I really think that the tell-all was a good way to wrap it up. And like I said, we'll probably see some of these couples in the happily ever after, so look forward to that. January has a jam-packed schedule. We've got My 600-Pound Life. We've got Sister Wives. We've got this new show, Seeking Sister Wives. I don't know what it is, but I will be watching. And we've got this new show on We called Love After Lockup. So we've got so much going on. Please follow the the Twitter hashtag 90DayFiance for any other 90-Day Fiance updates. Those people are hilarious. You won't regret it, I promise. You can follow me on Twitter at NICHI_P_tweets. Or you can catch anybody in the Facebook group, Welcome to TV Pod. 90-Day Fiance Facebook group, and everybody in there is hilarious as well. And not only are these women funny, but they are investigators. They find all the receipts for everything. If you ever want to know anything about any person on this show, they will find it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really enjoyed doing this, and I hope I'll see you guys in the future. Bye.